You saw Secretary Clinton right there. What I'd like to ask you about, though, are comments you made back in 2006. That's when the 20th hijacker, Zacarias Moussaoui, was convicted in federal criminal court. You were disappointed that he didn't get the death penalty, but you did praise the overall trial. Here's what you said. You said, "I was in awe of our system. It does demonstrate that we can give people a fair trial, that we are exactly what we say we are. We are a nation of law." You called it a symbol of justice then. If criminal court was good enough for Moussaoui, why isn't it good enough for Khalid Sheikh Mohammed?
Well, it was, and it would be good enough for Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, but the reality is there's another alternative, and the administration, for some strange reason, is creating the other alternative, military tribunals. They're going to try 5 other people, at least, in those military tribunals. I don't understand why they can't try Khalid Sheikh Mohammed in a military tribunal. That also would demonstrate we're a nation of laws. That is the way in which we've tried enemy combatants in the past, whether it was the Second World War or the Civil War. So we're basically, in this particular case, we're reaching out to give terrorists a benefit that is unnecessary. In fact, Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, when he was first arrested, asked to be brought to New York. And I didn't think we were in the business of granting the request of terrorists.
Yet it does show the world that we have nothing to fear. That's the argument that the Attorney General makes. And also, if you look at the history here, you've got more than 200 international terrorists in federal prisons right now. Not only Zacarias Moussaoui and the Supermax, you've got Ramzi Youssef, Richard Reed, the blind Sheikh Abdul Rahman. We have demonstrated that our federal system can handle this, and we can put these people away if necessary.
But we've also demonstrated that our federal system has an enormously protracted process that's going to go on forever, that it grants more benefits than a military tribunal will grant. There is always the possibility of acquittal, change of venue, and the reality is, George, it also creates an extra risk that isn't necessary. It creates an extra risk for New York. Now, New York can handle it, there's no question about it, but why add an additional risk when you don't have to do that? And then I'm troubled by the symbolism of it also. It seems to me the Obama administration is getting away from the fact that we are at war with these terrorists. They no longer use the term war on terror. They have been very slow to react to the whole situation with Major Hasan, which was clearly a terrorist act in the name of Islamic terrorism. Gosh, he announced it as such when he did it. He was carrying around business cards saying "Soldier of Allah." So it would seem to me that this is the worst symbol to send, that this is a civilian matter. It was the mistake we made in '93. In '93, we treated the attack on the World Trade Center as a civilian matter. Understandable back then. We didn't have the example of September 11th. And many people think that was a mistake.
Let me press you on that. So do you believe that Major Hasan should be tried in a military tribunal?
Well, I don't know about that. I mean, I'd want to see the facts develop. I think the administration has been very slow to come to the conclusion that Major Hasan was an Islamic extremist terrorist. I mean, the reality is he announced Allah Akbar when he shot and killed those people. He was communicating with a cleric who was encouraging terrorism. Now it turns out he even has business cards saying "Soldier of Allah." And I suspect that Major Hasan, although I don't know the decision has been made, will be tried in a court-martial. I suspect, but he could be tried. He could be tried either way, but these are acts of war.